Hi friends and my dear students. Today 12th physics 8.33 according to the Bohr-Otto model, we are deriving an expression for energy of an electron in the nth orbit. Last class we have derived a radius of an electron in the nth orbit as well as the velocity of the electron in the nth orbit. Now we are going to derive an expression for the energy of an electron in the nth orbit. So since the electrostatic force is a conservative force, electrostatic force is a conservative force, so that the potential energy for the nth orbit is given by the potential energy of an electron in nth orbit. Nth orbit. Potential energy of an electron in the nth orbit is given by UN. It is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught plus ZE into minus E divided by Rn. That's all. Not square. You have to consider here only potential energy means Rn. Okay. That you have to understand clearly. Most probably all are done in mistake. You have to put square. If you are putting square, it may be wrong. Here it may be considered to be only Rn. That's all. Then UN become minus Z E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Rn. Are you clear? Are you clear? Now we know the value of Rn. Now only I told that in the last class, at the end of the class, Rn that is equal n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. You have to memorize this equation unless you have to miss 1 mark question or 3 mark sums. And you have to substitute this value here. Then we have minus z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Instead of Rn, you have to substitute the value of n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. Are you clear? Pi m z e square n square h square epsilon naught. Okay. Now by simplify this, pi cancel, then anything is cancelled, nothing. Therefore z and z square e square for minus m, only 1 m z into z square e square e power 4 divided by 4 epsilon into epsilon naught square. Therefore 4 epsilon naught square n square h square. This is the value of potential energy. Are you clear? This is the first equation. Okay. Now we have to find out the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of an electron in nth orbit. Nth orbit is equal. It is nothing but kinetic energy of an electron in nth orbit, that is equal of m v square, here vn square. Are you clear? Now we have to substitute the value of what is the value of un? Un is nothing but minus m z square e power 4 pi epsilon naught square n square h square. Now the kinetic energy equal to half into mvn square. Half kinetic energy is equal to half mvn square. That is equal to, this is the value that is equivalent to this value. Are you clear? We have to substitute 1 by 2 into mvn minus m z square e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. Then if you are 4, not 8, 4. If you are multiplying this 2 into 4, then we get minus m z square e power 4 divided by 2 4s are 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. This is the kinetic energy of an electron in the nth orbit. This is the fundamental equation. Now this implies that what is the difference between un and ken? If you are multiplying this value 2 times, 2 times of kinetic energy, 2 times of kinetic energy, that is equivalent to 2 times of kinetic energy is equal to un. Therefore, we can write un that is equal to minus 2 times of kinetic energy. 2 times of kinetic energy. That is, this is the equation. If you are multiplying by 2, then 2, 4 is cancelled. 2 and 4 is cancelled. Therefore, 2 times of kinetic energy is equivalent to the potential energy of the nth orbit. Now we want to find out the equation for the total energy. Now we want to find out the total energy of an electron in the nth orbit. Total energy of an electron in the nth orbit. Then we have to add both the equation. The total energy of the kinetic energy is equivalent to kinetic energy as well as the potential energy. This is the equation. Kinetic energy plus potential energy. But we know the value of the potential energy is nothing but kinetic energy minus of 2 kinetic energy in the nth orbit. Therefore, minus kinetic energy of nth orbit. That is the value. Here we have to apply the value of Ken. What is the value of Ken? Ken is nothing but only mz square m, that is minus value. Then you have to substitute the value, magnitude value minus m z square e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. This is the final equation for the total energy of an electron while rotating in the nth orbit. This is also known, very important equation. You have to memorize it. M z square e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. Without refer this book, you have to write Rn equal n square h square epsilon naught divided by m z e square. Likewise, we have to write the value of En equal to minus m z square e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. These both equations are very very important to calculate 5 mark sums or 3 mark sums or 1 mark question or 2 mark question or whatever it may be asked, NEET exam, everything, the both equations are very very essential. Both equations are very very essential. This is a very very fantastic equation that was derived by Bohr, the total energy of an electron in the nth orbit. Now, as per this equation, we conclude that this is for hydrogen atom. For example, when you consider hydrogen atom, what is the value of hydrogen atom? Z value, Z equal to 1. Z equal 1. Z means atomic number, that is number of electrons, that is equal to 1. Therefore, for hydrogen atom, then Z equal to 1. Therefore, En, that is equal to minus m e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. This is the energy of an electron for hydrogen atom. Nth orbital energy of an hydrogen atom for hydrogen atom in joule. Joule unit for this energy is determined by joule. But instead of that, we have to calculate the energy. When you consider the mass of the electron is said to be V, and velocity of the electron is said to be V, and charge of the electron are said to be E. Then you have to calculate the total energy En, that is equal, except n, remaining all are known values, and substituting this value in electron volt, then we get minus 13.6 electron volt. This is the equation that we are derived the energy of the hydrogen atom in electron volt. This is very very important. For example, if you want to find out the value of, suppose you want to find out the value of E1, what will be the E1? The energy in the first orbit. It is nothing but by n square. Here, sorry, I done a mistake. This is constant. This variable, remaining all are known values. That's why we have to put n square here itself. Okay. So minus 13.6 electron volt by n, that is called 1, first orbit, 1 square. That's equal to minus 13.6 electron volt. When you say E2, this is called n equal to 1. This is called, now we are going to derive on total energy of an electron in the second orbit. What will be the value? Minus 13.6 electron volt by 2 square is equal to 4. That is equal to minus 3.4 electron volt. Likewise, if you want to find out the value of E3, minus 13.6 electron volt divided by 9, that is equal to 1.511 electron volt. 1.51 electron volt. 1.51 electron volt. This is a method how can we obtain the energy of in the first orbit, energy in the second orbit, energy in the third orbit, or whatever you may calculate, energy in the fourth or fifth or sixth, whatever it may be. This is the fundamental equations to calculate the total energy of an electron while rotating in the orbital, nth orbital. Very famous equation. Now, I want to explain furthermore what notice the energy of the first excited state. Suppose now let us assume here you have to consider this is the first orbital. This is called first excited state. This one is called second excited state. If you consider atom like this is nucleus, the first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, fourth orbit. But the lowest orbit is called the first orbit. The first excited state orbit is called 2. Second excited state orbit is called 3. Third excited state orbit is called 4. N equal to 4, N equal to 3, N equal to 2, N equal to 1. N equal to 1 is the lowest energy level. When you are increasing the orbital value, the energy also increases. The energy also increases. Therefore, we can write one famous equation. E1 is less than E2, is less than E3, is less than E4, dash. This is a very, very important conclusion by Bohr to explain the value of the energy of nth orbital electron. This value is known as minus 13.6 n square is the value of Rydberg or called Rydberg, one Rydberg. One Rydberg is nothing but minus 13.6 electron volt. This is Rydberg. RYD Rydberg, BERG, Rydberg. This is the value, Rydberg value. That is called minus 1 Rydberg is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt. Now, the negative value of this energy is because here the energy of the electron is negative. Is because when you are increasing the orbital, the energy become raised. So at last what happened? At last it may be the potential energy as well as the kinetic energy, total energy, which will become 0. That indicates that the negative signs indicate that this is the value going to be vanished. That's a very important concept. And then last one, how can we draw the diagram or specific representation of an orbital value, energy level value, as well as the diagram? Very easy. For example, you have to write energy level in the first ground level minus 13.6 electron volt. Then next one that is called minus 3.4 electron volt. Then next one called minus 1.51 electron volt. Then again you have to consider another one. Here you have to clearly understand one concept. The gap between the first and second is very long, whereas comparatively second and third, and comparatively third and fourth, and comparatively fourth and fifth. That means whenever you increase the excited state energy level, that are very close to each other. That's the thing that we are going to explain. In the first orbital, we have to draw the figure. The figure are shown in the figure. This is the energy levels of hydrogen atom. Energy levels of the hydrogen atom. This is when n is equal to 1. N is equal to 1. This is the diagram. When n is equal to 2, then you have to draw circle. There may be 2 like this. In 3/3, you have to consider circle and you have to make 3 like this. You have to make like this 1, 2, 3. If you are considered 4, then 4 waves are there. If you are considering 5th, then 5 waves are there. This is a graphical representation of energy levels of hydrogen atom. This is a very important. So far we have seen 7 important 5 mark questions. Among these all, J. Thomson experiment, Millikan experiment, then Rutherford experiments, then Niels Bohr hypothesis and Niels Bohr atomic hypothesis and Niels Bohr atom model. Under that, we have to consider there are an expression for the radius of an atom, nth orbit radius and nth orbit velocity. At last, the energy of the nth orbit of an electron while rotating in the orbit. These are all 5 mark questions. Among these, there are so many 3 mark questions and 2 mark questions and 1 mark questions are available. Yes, I think you are happy to hear my voice regarding this atomic structure of this atom and atomic nuclear physics. I hope I may continue in the next class. Thank you, my dear friends.